All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice Pacers. And guys, sorry I'm a little bit late in getting this episode out. It was a late night last night as the Pacers played another 10 o'clock game, and then I kind of passed out and didn't really feel like I wanted to do a recap right away. And so wanted to do one here really quick for you guys, talking about the Pacers. Unfortunately, losing this game by a score of 118 to 115 to the Portland Trailblazers in Portland. The Pacers come off a win the previous night against the Kings, and they lay kind of an egg in certain ways against an inferior opponent in the Trailblazers. And really looking at this game for the Pacers, obviously they had two guys coming back, Tyrese Halliburton, and also they had Pascal Siakam making his Pacer debut. Both those guys contributed pretty well to the Pacers overall. They were both had 21 points for the Pacers. Halliburton had 2 rebounds and 17 assists. Siakam had 6 rebounds and 3 assists. And when you look at this game for the Indiana Pacers, I think it really came down to a couple things. Number one, the defense for the Pacers, it's a problem. And again, it's been a problem all year for the Indiana Pacers, but it was really put on display here against the Blazers, specifically inside in the paint. The Pacers were absolutely obliterated in the paint compared to whatever the Blazers wanted to do basically inside the paint offensively, they were able to do. I mean, they really were able to do whatever they wanted. They out-rebounded the Pacers by 10, and they really it felt like they just kind of were dominant in the inside, and the Pacers didn't even really put up a fight. I mean, you look at some of the guys that really did some strong things. I mean, Jarris Walker had 12 rebounds. Ayton had 8, and both those guys contributed well also. And really, you allowed Grant to go off. You allowed Brogdon to go off. And it never really felt like, the Blazers were trying to shoot from beyond the arc. It was all mid-range to short shots. But the Pacers just really struggled to contain them and really to, stop those kind of easy baskets in certain ways. And there were certain times where you're like, it doesn't even look like they're trying to contest these. And so definitely was a very forgettable day for the Pacer defense in a lot of ways. Just not being able to defend that part of the court. But also I think as well for the Pacers, what it came down to was the missed free throws. The Pacers missed multiple free throws in this game that really, I think, could have changed the outcome in a lot of ways. And it really, really, kind of was emphasized right at the end of that game when unfortunately Pascal Siakam misses 2 free throws. And you're like, man, that's just kind of been the story. And it wasn't just Siakam. Multiple guys that typically have been pretty good on their field goals all year really did not do a great job at making their field goals overall. Really did not do a good job making their free throws, The Pacers were 17 of 25 on free throw shots. Meanwhile, the Blazers were 30 of 35. So I think, man, the Pacers get that up to a respectable number. They win this game. And so I think ultimately it comes down to that. But again, it was a short night for the Pacers. Their bench definitely struggled at times to really, get things going in a lot of ways. I think maybe you throw that to just the fatigue of having to play a lot of minutes. I don't know exactly what the deal was with the bench, but you definitely would expect and hope for more moving forward from your bench because, they showed out, against the Kings. So it's kind of weird to see them kind of revert back in a lot of different ways. And it's just kind of honestly baffling to see the bench struggle as much as it is. Mathurin was only scored 2 points, was 0 from 8 on his field goal, 0 of 5 from 3 points. And he missed a free throw. Jalen Smith, he only had 7 points, 3 rebounds. He was only 2 for 5 on his field goals. TJ McConnell really struggled. Only 2 points for him, 1 of 4 from his field goal attempts. Obi Toppin really, really struggled. He attempted 3 field goals. He did not make a single one, so 0 points for him. And then Shepard as well, 1 for 4 from his field goals. So the bench did not give you the quality minutes that you definitely wanted and definitely needed to defeat a team like this. And it really felt like the Blazers, from all aspects, they got a lot more from their bench. They got stuff from guys like Henderson, Murray. All these guys definitely felt like the Blazers bench outplayed the Pacers bench in this game. And so the Pacers are going to have to figure some things out. Now, again, how much do you chalk that up to, having to play, this West Coast type of thing, some guys being tired, these new guys coming in. So there's really not that chemistry quite yet. I know Halliburton's obviously played all year, but he's missed, a decent amount of time. And then obviously Siakam's missed it, has not played for the Pacers yet. So how much do you chalk it up to those things versus obviously the Pacers need to execute in a lot of ways a lot better? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts on this Pacer loss. Again, the Pacers have, for whatever reason, this year, they've lost to the Blazers, and they've not really brought their A game. I know their last performance they played against the Blazers, they lost by 4. So maybe the Blazers are just one of those teams that has the Pacers number, despite the fact that on paper the Pacers are still a much more talented team than the Blazers are. So for those reasons, I think that's why you look at this game and you say, hey, even though the fact that the Pacers struggled to play defense interior-wise, and really struggled, when it mattered to make their free throws, they still only lost by 3. And now that you have Halliburton back, you have some of these guys back, I think you got to still feel positive about where the Pacers are going. Sometimes you have off nights, and this was one of those instances for the Indiana Pacers. But let me know, guys, your overall thoughts on this Pacers game. Like I said before, if you haven't yet, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell. We're already over 350 people who have subscribed to the channel, so thank you, everybody who has done that. We're continuing to try to build this thing to where we need it to go, and you guys obviously help run this thing. So if you would do me a favor and spread the love and definitely share it to everybody you know and all that good stuff, would greatly appreciate it. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, guys, go Pacers.